All right, I am back.
Yep, I've returned as well. And welcome once again, everybody, to another exciting race in the PK Scramble 2026 tournament. This is the final race of the round, this time between Brooke and PebblePossum. I'm Leslie Pro, and I am joined by Static Pulse, fresh off a win moments ago.
Indeed. Hello, everyone. This is the final race of this flag set, which is one curse and 100% unscaled items. So I'm sure we'll see all sorts of exciting things, probably.
Now, one thing I will say from an aesthetic standpoint is both of our runners are using a Dr. Saturn themed timer. Not Mr. Saturn. You know what? I got crossed up with Seed of the Week. Don't mind me. And it's a Dalam teleport to open.
Always good. You get a kid right off the bat. That's always good to see. Also, Dalam has a lot of presents, so it's going to be a lot of potentially great items or potentially dud items. Since we're at the beginning of the seed, really, most of the time you're going to get something better than you normally would. Ooh, Flame Pendant to start. That's actually very useful, since a lot of bosses use fire PSI or fire attacks. So, really could have used that last seed. But still
you
good.
both
We'll see if we
last
have.
Seed. No doubt about that.
Yeah, found an early Rain Pendant, but that's not useful against Kraken or Starman Jr. or any other number of fire-based foes. And we get a teleport to Tucson.
Deja vu, anyone?
I'm not usually very happy to see Tucson right away in the list because you need to come up with money for Apple Kid. But since we have 100% unscaled items, more than likely we will find something we can sell for $200 or so. Key to the cabin, that's always nice.
Already off to Dalam.
I imagine most of our races will go to the LOM. Depending on, sometimes I prefer to go to ONET first, pick up whatever's in the library, but usually if it's like a one-off check like Winners or Dalam here, then I'll do that first and then go back to ONET since it's likely or possible you can do arcade while you get back when you get back there. And right off the bat, we get Cloak of Kings. We get an okay pendant. That's all right. And a repel.
Not something I would have equipped, though, but that's just me. Not at this stage.
Possibly not over the Flame Pendant. The Flame Pendant is likely to be more useful resistance-wise. There's not a whole lot of random enemies that use ice attacks, though it can be moderately useful if you run into a boss that can use flash.
Although some of the enemies do like to attack with the shimmering light or dazzling light effects, and that would help in those situations.
Double B. Alright, well, we shaping up to potentially be a difficult start to the seed, simply because we haven't found a great weapon for Ness. It can definitely, start of the seed can be a little difficult depending on who you're facing. If you're facing like freeze resistant enemies, Pooh might not be able to do much, and if you're stuck with a yo-yo or something on Ness, then curses only makes things more difficult if you can't even it out. However, we're now doing our Moo training. We'll get a free teleport out of this. Could be somewhere interesting. Could be more likely it's probably somewhere new. So let's see if this teleport ends up being something they can do something out right away, or if we'll have to wait for another key item. Get the old Moo going. Lost Underworld, that's a free sync. Unlikely that any of our runners will go there right away, but that's one sync of minimum 4 that our racers will find. Leslie, did you catch what the key item Pooh has in his inventory?
No, I did not. Oh, you were saying about Ness not having a weapon? He just got an ultimate bat.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna really help things out here. Definitely not gonna fear the first few bosses here. We'll probably knock him out in one hit. And we get police badge.
Which is not going to do much of anything unless you want to run the cop gauntlet for a quicker route to the exit mouse hideout.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's just not going to be faster than walking back from Tucson itself. Even if you do it twice, it's just not going to be all that useful. And we'll see what the Pogo Punks here drop. In our previous race, it was a large pizza. Today, it's just a regular size pizza.
I still would have kept the pizza, though, because that's a good healing item.
For sure.
And you want to
need
get
a
some
food item for...
That's good food.
Yeah.
Oh, we got an early Porky.
Yep, that ultimate bat's gonna come in pretty good here. Yep. Take it down in one hit. Wish I could do that in vanilla.
Yeah, I know, right?
We got the slimy little pile. If we don't... Oh, Ness missed, and now it's going to be a whack-a-mole, but Brooke gets out with minimal time loss. Key to the shack.
So we have 2 sanctuaries available at this point.
Yeah, we'll see what our racers do next. More likely, it looks like our only path forward is going to Tucson and doing the applicant check. You know, that's what I was saying in the previous race, Jay Tolmar. I think we also got the key to the shack here at...
Oh, I know it's a real scrambled flag, but I'm not the one who rolled the seeds, so don't look at me.
Oh, Brooke is going to Sanctuary 1. Since everything is, since every item is randomized, we could get something good from the, nope, still the travel charm, never mind.
Vanilla.
Yep, unfortunately, there's almost no world where the travel charm is ever useful.
Yeah, because I believe that's only a half resistance to paralysis at best. Because I remember once as a kid, I had that equipped and I still got paralyzed. I thought, wait a minute, that's not supposed to happen. But now that I'm older and know more about the game, I can say, yeah, if it's a half resist, that's probably what happened.
Yep, you can't trust it to save you from paralysis, and it has no additional benefits. PebblePossum doing the applicant check. Brooke getting another pizza, throwing it out, though.
Probably because a rat chewed into it.
We have our first boss, or first sanctuary boss, I should say. A lot of bills. Guardian Digger. Well, Ness might take him out with with his own ultimate bat. Well, yeah, that mole can take some punishment, but he has no shield
this
now,
mole's
so
beefy, even in vanilla.
Yeah, that took a little while. Alright, so with Wada Bills, we do have access to Threed, which means another kid check.
Yes. Time running out on the prediction on the Twitch chat side of things, so get that in quickly, folks.
Alright, with one Sanctuary under her belt, Brooke will now be moving on to the next part of the seed, going to Tucson, so likely going to do the applicant check, much like PebblePossum just did. And very soon we'll have our bus ride, so get ready to rock out. Brooke withdrawing some cash, $1,000 bills all together. Going to grab, mostly for Apple Kid. Hopefully, Brooke remembered to save a food item, one of those pizzas, perhaps. Oh, just giving the bottle of water. I forgot that poo does start with a bottle of water. And our meme tonight is dental. Remember to brush your teeth, kids.
Yeah, this is a Simpsons meme. Dental plan. Dental plan. Ooh,
Oh, we got a neutralizer.
That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, with 100% randomized, we could get some really good stuff out of them. Neutralizer, assuming we get Jeff, can be pretty good. Alright, so this next kid's going to have to unlock progression for us in some manner. Could be Jeff with, say, a UFO engine, or Paula, where we end up going back to Tucson and taking out the Everdread boss, which looked like, I think, Master Barf.
Yeah, it was Master Barf, which has a little extra... Oh, I hope we get Jeff soon, because that vendor's got multi-bottle rockets!
Yeah, those MBRs will be really good, especially if our runners decide to take on Gygas. That's definitely very likely to be an instant takeout on whoever the assistant might be.
Considering we've already seen Pokey, it is very likely to just one-shot pretty much any boss our runners run into.
And there is Jeff. What are you doing here, Jeff? How very convenient. So one thing PebblePossum might have to decide between is whether they will get the Spectrum gun for Jeff, which is a very, very good weapon in its own right. It'll do probably about 100 to 150 damage to any enemy throughout the seed. Or get a couple multi-bottle rockets to really just destroy any boss that they decide to point it at. Ooh, Diadem of Kings. That's very nice.
I mean, you could start with at least one or two multi-bottle rockets to take out whatever is waiting. Oh, click.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh.
stop clicking on Spectrum Beam, Pebble. I think he was trying to. I think they were trying to menu to multi-bottle rocket, but was mismenuing. Suppose it could happen to anybody.
Yep, they got two of them and the Spectrum Beam, so Jeff is loaded for bear. And Jeff also came with the jar of fly honey. Very nice.
It's
Oh,
Frank.
Brooke gonna check on the insignificant item up here. What could it be this time? It is. Oh, that's right. That just remains the same. The prize you get for turning it in is different.
Pebble not even gonna waste the MBR here. That makes sense because Frank was weak sauce.
And we get here the zombie paper, so I think we know where everybody's going next. Going right to Saturn Valley to take out the Belch base and also likely Sanctuary.
So to answer chat, the insignificant item gets turned into an NPC in the hospital in Tucson, and in the vanilla game, you get a very early magic truffle. Way sooner than you would typically get it. Oh, meteorite piece for Pooh, so that's also going to be another teleport for our runners.
Yep, so once they beat Belch base, they'll Well, they can go to Saturn Valley before Belch Base. I don't know. That's typically not something you would do in a race type setting, but you'll have 2 teleports and a sanctuary, so really could potentially open up a lot of different options here. Could get winners for another key item. We could have something crazy like Deep Darkness. Or we could just have a teleport to like Foresight or Happy Happy or something to save us some walking time. And we get the green. Good job, Pebble. That's one thing I'm envious about all these vanilla runners, is they can just green swirl off of anything.
Absolutely, and here comes the Frank fight for Brooke. She now knows about the multi-bottle rockets, might get some afterwards, but we'll see. Oh, hi, it's Frankie Stein Mark II.
And one of our curses here, our enemies can transform into earlier enemies in the C progression, so we got to beat up Frank once again. Which I guess because it was Frankie Stein.
If I might, Static, is that Frank was riding in Frankie Stein Mark II and decided to jump out for round 3.
You know, I was thinking the same thing. We had a Dr. Eggman situation. Great Charm? Great Charm's not half bad, honestly. It gives you a speed boost, which if you don't have any other speed boosts for Jeff, can really help with bottle rocket accuracy.
Oh, indeed.
PebblePossum, interesting.
Saturn Valley.
Yeah, this is fairly interesting. I would assume most racers would instead prefer to go to complete the Belch base first, which will deposit them at the upper part of Saturn Valley. But perhaps PebblePossum is hoping to get a teleport here and possibly find Sanctuary 4 early. Ooh, Rain
Or
Pendant.
even potentially come up with Starstorm.
Starstorm would be good. Although with the Ultimate Bat and our multi-bottle rockets, Pooh only being able to fling that out once, it can still be very useful, especially if you get like a bunch of flobbies or floppies or something like that, and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna deal with this. Deep Darkness, hey, he's spoken into existence.
Gonna need a Hawkeye to make that useful, though.
Yep, but it's. I don't want to say it's fairly likely, but with Deep Darkness, there is a kit check, and we're still missing Paula, so there is a chance. Oh, we get a red swirl on PebblePossum side. Brooke gets into a bad fight with some ghosts, ambushed them right at the doorway. Ambushed her right at the doorway.
That's a thing that can happen in the graveyard tunnel, so
every vanilla racer's favorite part.
And something that casual players hate to run into.
Oh, no, couldn't quite escape the ants there. The teddy bear got covered in ants, and now we gotta save it.
Also a crocodile in this situation.
Brooke looks like she will be heading right to Belch Base. Although it gets a janky red swirl. Oh no, those gators are throwing bombs. This is bad. Get out of there. Okay, they're gonna throw another bomb. Whew.
Nope, just a standard attack.
Oh, nice green. Enemies that look left and right like that, it can be a little hard to get greens on sometimes. When you run into them, it doesn't quite update the sprite position, and you don't get the swirl you're looking for.
But sometimes you get lucky.
PebblePossum just running right through this place. Brooke
Jank
does
green
get the
for
green
Brooke.
there.
I think she'll take it, all things considered. Ooh, this is
Hey,
gonna be
there's
interesting.
Kraken.
This would be one I would throw one of those MBRs at, no hesitation. Because Kraken can be nasty.
PebblePossum just sending it. Kraken was defeated. I tend to find Kraken doesn't have all that much
nice
HP.
crit.
Yeah. Crit with an ultimate bet, yeah, that'll do a number. The only unfortunate thing is Paula's not getting out of this EXP, depending on where she is in Logic. She might not have a lot of HP for a Gygus defeat. But we did get a rain pendant, which will protect her pretty well, should our racers decide to finish by taking on Gygus. We get Summers. That's a fairly long check for a single teleport. PebblePossum deciding to take on this sanctuary right away. Oh, nope, that teddy bear is gonna swing around and get tagged.
A 4 Ranboob fight. This could get rough.
Yep, one of the curses just so happens to double the number of enemies on field. So you can get some hilariously large amounts of enemies on screen with like big piles of puke and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and that's a sprite that takes up a large portion of the screen.
Yeah, even if like 6 of them do touch your kids to initiate battle, for the larger sprites there can only be so many of them. I think the maximum is 4. So
really, I've
sometimes
only seen 2.
Sometimes that situation. Oh, it's vanilla. Trying to sprout vanilla. Ugh. Yep, just gonna throw the MBR out there. That's what I would do.
That looks to be a big bottle rocket, the one that Jeff started with.
Okay. Did not take it out. Maybe we should have gone with the MBR. All right, the life ups didn't target the boss, so we make it through. Brooke now wrapping up Saturn Valley, gonna get the good news on the Deep Darkness teleport. Maybe she will see what the Bubble Monkey Love is this seed. Not the Bubble Monkey, but the Monkey Love, sorry. Alright, both our racers have 1 sync on the board, though with different sanctuaries. Oh no, PebblePossum triggered the Photo Man. Everyone get out your fuzzy pickles.
Unfortunately, probably a pixel too far to the right, if I had to guess.
Yeah, it's very, very tight. If you're off a little bit, you just get the old fuzzy pickle there. Ooh, so I think our racers have found 2 DXs, repel DXs. So that'll be more than enough to get through Cave of the Past. And we'll see PebblePossum's meme. Oh, I love curses. No.
We don't judge. We just watch the action.
I didn't know you were such a voyeur.
Nah, live and let live. That's how I live. Well, yogurt dispensers. This could lead to a kid check.
Yeah, this could be Paula instead. Which would be a little unfortunate. I was rooting for Deep Darkness because we got that teleport. But sometimes it happens, just ends up that way where you get a useless teleport.
Yep, sometimes you get a check and you get a teleport to a place you've already been. That's just how Scramble is.
Yeah, that always feels the worst, especially if you do it in summers, because that's such a long check. Ugh.
Yeah, and it winds up being the teleport to Summers. That's just like, ugh, thanks, game.
Alright, doesn't look like the mines are particularly troublesome. Brooke's taking on a few fights here. So very likely that Yogurt Dispenser will lead to something that is in logic. Oh, we got some...
Oh, that's the thing level 1 curses can do. You can get enemies that move like UFOs when they aren't. Oh, we got boogie tents.
Well, PebblePossum debating whether to go in the mines or not. Oh no. Unfortunately, he has to caught by this cute UFO.
And this could get ugly. Meanwhile, these fights can be very intense.
PebblePossum deciding not to go into the mines just yet. Will likely head over to Moonside instead. Oh, we get some free cave pizza. Will one of these be? No, that one is not a heavy bottle. Heavy bazooka. Always something you'd like to see. I imagine our racers will be opening up every locker they find, hoping to get one of those guys.
Brooke is taking this time to load up on exit mice. Ooh, bag of Dragonite. Always good to find one of those.
Oh yeah, that's something very nice to unleash on Gygus or any boss, really. Unless it's like Carbon Dog or something.
Yeah, then it doesn't work so good.
Oh, we got a green on the clock there.
Pretty much as Pebble was entering Moonside, that enemy popped up. Ooh, another bag of Dragonite. That's better than 1, 2. Because what you can do if you get enough bags of Dragonite is Pebble comes up with 1. Is 1 for each kid, then you get to phase 2 of Gygus, and then you just all go bag of Dragonite, and then just unleash hell, fire, and brimstone on Gygus. It's amazing when you can do that.
Alright, Brooke finishing up the mines here while PebblePossum heads toward the end of Moonside. Didn't get any new equipment, but did get some Dragonite and a couple odds and ends. Got a nice secret herb. I don't know how many couple life noodles we've found so far, but if we do go for the Gygus ending, then that secret herb can come in handy in a pinch.
As could those bottles of deluxe water that Pebble just found.
Oh, yeah, if we happen to get stars from them, that'd be really good.
Successfully skipped the teleport trigger and has the yogurt dispenser in tow, heading into Foreside, as Pebble is taking on Thunder and Storm.
Alright, Clamorous Pow Thud, so we know from this that we haven't missed a a Franklin badge in Logic yet, since that was a fairly weak Thunder attack. Much of the time, Thunder is scaled based on when in Logic you're expected to have the Franklin badge. So seeing Thunders do very little damage means you're not expected to get the Franklin badge yet, but if you suddenly run into really high damage Thunders, then you know something's up. And we got a carrot key for our 4th Sanctuary.
So Moonside is something that Brooke's going to want to do sooner rather than later, I would think. But it'll be interesting to see who is waiting at the end of Monotoli building. Say Monotoli has the sign banana. Then you have a 5 Sank and Magicant situation, which, when you have a Gygus Curse situation, is actually a good finish to go for.
Yeah, generally speaking. You could still get some nasty curses on the Magicant boss itself. You could have a double boss or rainbow boss, depending on how that all shakes out. It can be fairly difficult, although with our unscaled items that we've gotten so far, I imagine our runners will be in very good shape. Nice green pebble.
Pebble not able to stutter past that thirsty coil snake, and wow, this time not even randomized.
Is this even randomized? J. Tolmar, come on. But Clumsy goes down pretty easily.
To be fair, I blame Lardna.
And here's Paula. Okay, so it was
this really was important.
It was a very straightforward seed after all. So, and we get a diamond for our trouble, which that's a pretty quick turn in. So you could still do it and hope you get like you were saying, the cyan banana. We'll see if our racers decide to do that. Brooke doing some quick inventory management, giving that rain pendant to Paula. And looks like Brooke will be checking out the diamond. See what we get. Since we know the seed is pretty straightforward, Brooke has a slight lead at the moment, since both our racers have 1 sanctuary under their belts. So Uko, the rain pendant does not give flash resistance, but I would say most of the time, and especially in any sort of race seed setting, we have safer flash beta on. So Gygus at the end of a 4 sanctuary seed will use flash beta, but the instant KO chance is replaced by some other stat effect, like say paralyze or sleep or something of the sort like that. So you're really looking for a rain pendant to put on Paula, since she doesn't have to worry about flash taking her out instantly. And we got a pack of bubblegum from the diamond, it looked like. We don't have a winner's teleport, but we could get it from Summers, maybe.
But that would also be a long way for 1 check, which would really minimize the impact of a 5 Sank finish.
Yeah, Brooke will have to decide between Moonside or Summers. I imagine she will go for Moonside, would be my guess. PebblePossum did Milky Well, yes, while Brooke did Giant Step.
Giant Step.
PebblePossum getting some great greens here in the mines. Oh yes, I would say it's still close. I would say Brooke does have the advantage, more likely. Ooh, red. Red swirl. Huh. Did PebblePossum not go all the way? Was that not their last mole equivalent? Okay. I guess they didn't pick up more exit mice then? I'm a little confused why PebblePossum walked out unless they were... Maybe they could be preserving more mice for the dungeons, but... With Tucson availability, I don't know. Yeah, that could be true there, Chargles. Let's see, we do have... Likely, it could also be one for Fire Springs, depending. Although, since you'd have to go to... They do have Tucson access, so they could get the mice from the house south of Onett. And if you're going to have to make that trip anyway, I don't know if it really makes sense to not use an exit mice just to leave the mines a little faster. And while I was rambling on, I missed what Brooke got for the insignificant item. Did you catch that, Leslie? Uko says repel sandwich. Meanwhile, we get a Horn of Life from Paula's mom. And the teddy bear yet again betrays PebblePossum. Brooke now going to fight Master Barf here. We'll see how in logic Barf is. Nausea, that's a pretty highly scaled PSI. Or PSI status effect, sorry. Oop.
Still getting good damage in with these attacks, and just as I say that, down goes Master Barf as Pooh gives it the business until it's beat. Drops a slingshot though, which is... yeah.
PebblePossum is paralyzed for clumsy robots. Oh, we get a moonbeam gun.
That is Jeff's second strongest weapon.
Yeah, I think Spectrum Beam's like, oh, we get the Hawkeye. So there's where our Hawkeye is, since we do have a Deep Darkness. Teleport, though, with all the kids in check, or in tow, I don't foresee Brooke heading to Deep Darkness. PebblePossum teleporting out, taking stock of their equipment.
Also a crystal charm in the shop, which Brooke could get and just go absolutely crazy with multi-bottle rockets if she went back to Threed.
Yeah, she did check the arms dealer there, right?
I mean, it's where she got the Spectrum Beam. She opted for that instead of MBRs.
Yeah. Fair enough, fair enough. PebblePossum also doing the diamond check right here. We'll see. Probably PebblePossum hoping that it's Sync 5, but I don't think we've found Sync 5 yet. Unless Summers has a winter teleport in store for us. But that being such a long check, I don't know if at this stage our runners will be going out there.
Looks like Brooke's going to be getting the carrot key soon enough.
Yeah. Really, right now, it's really how quick can PebblePossum Oh, actually opting to go to Summers, probably hoping to find that fifth sank. Interesting play.
It's a bold strategy, but will it pay out?
Yeah, because if you do get winners, you saw the Tessie ride. And we don't have the pencil eraser. That's a fairly large time commitment compared to just doing Gygas, going for that Gygas finish. And
Yeah,
with
which would make it very
MBRs
good. Oh,
and
I just saw what the curse was for the Robopump, the Saporma. You actually have to use it to get rid of it in PK Scramble. So, unfortunately, that can be time consuming.
nothing too amazing here in the shop, but we can get a decent defense item for Paula. Not a bad idea. Get a high level defensive item for her, especially if you have a bit of seed left to go. So I guess what it's going to come down to is if Brooke decides to go for a Gygas finish, she only has 2 sanctuaries left. We have the meteorite piece. And I believe all that Brooke needs to do as far as sanctuaries go is will soon be Pink Cloud once she gets the Kara Key from Moonsight here, as well as Fire Springs in the Underworld. And that was a
was the
winner's
Winter's
teleport.
teleport. I think we got a race on our hands here.
PebblePossum now likely going for 5 and a Magicant. For sure, heading off the winners. So we'll see what happens. I mean, winners is pretty long, so I'd say it's pretty even now. Oh,
Jank, well, that's a Jank Green Swirl if I ever seen one.
Yeah, so I believe the current sank count is 2 for Brooke and 1 for Pebble. But they have Pebble has access to 5 total sinks, and Brooke now has access to the 4. So we'll see what happens. Brooke now going for Sanctuary 4 here. Yeah, Brooke did an early giant step, whereas PebblePossum did Milky Well right when they finished the barf base. So everyone get your emotes out for Tessie. Remember to stay hydrated. Oh no! Red swirl for Brooke. We got poison, we got sleep. I mean, we're just strong enough to bash it out, but it's gonna be kind of annoying. What is this? Heavy Bazooka!
Heavy Bazooka right in the path. Don't even have to go that far out of the way for it. And a large pizza on top of it. You love to see it.
Man, Brooke's not even bothering to cure poison on us. Let's see. Oh, it's Card Painter. So let's see what happens. I don't think we've seen like a PSI Reflect Shield yet. I was hoping to curse it into existence, but it didn't happen. Yeah, the Heavy Bazooka is nice, but we can also buy MBRs, so... It's good to have if you're going for a Gygas finish, since Gygas is very dodgy, and his assistant could have high speed, thus negating the effectiveness of bottle rockets.
That would have been a protoplasm skip, but too long of a party to pull it off.
If you get proto skip with 4 kids in tow, then hats off to you.
Mm-hmm. Just like James Harden who hit that full court lob pass for an alley-oop yesterday in the Cavaliers game against the Celtics. It was amazing to see live.
Oh wow, that
For
was a
those who
very
are
good
sports
teleport
fans.
beta from Brooke. Very masterful use of teleport beta there. Brooke heading right to fire. Oh, free moonbeam gun. You just leave these things lying around, you know.
He's anyway. I think it was intended for our runners to come to Fire Spring sooner. And that's 5th Sanctuary at Rainy Circle. The boss is the department store alien, again. Scaled higher, this could be dangerous.
Yeah, this might be one of those fights I just throw an NBR at and be done with it.
I know I would.
If PebblePossum has any left, definitely something I consider. Oh, barely managed to save Paula there.
Gut save on Jeff. This is dicey. Yep, here comes.
Going
Here
right
it
for that
comes.
multi-bottle rocket. This is the time to use it. Bonk. Meanwhile, Brooke has, I believe, all 4 Sanks. PebblePossum finishing up Sanctuary 5, but still has to do Pink Cloud and Giant Step and Fire Spring. So the question is, can Brooke close out the game in the time that it'll take PebblePossum to do 3 Sanctuaries and Magic Kingdoms?
I don't know if did Pebble mean to do that.
Yes, they're just in a Sanctuary rush right now.
Surprised it wasn't a check for an item. Not that it would have mattered, but still, the caveman could have been selling something good.
Yeah, if you were, well, I guess there's a possibility it could have been like signed banana. Actually, I guess with the Hawkeye in play, it could have also been like Shina's book.
That would have been the longer of the two.
It could have also, I guess, been Pencil Eraser, and they could walk over to Happy Happy. But all of those two are just really slow compared to the sewers, for sure.
All right, chat. Who do we have for an assistant? Based off what we've seen, we could potentially have Shroom, which would be truly awful. Bread roll. I would start singing a song about bread rolls and spring rolls, but this isn't Mario 3 Rando, and this is not a Big John stream, so I don't think that would work out here.
Guardian Digger taking 4 attacks on the chin, but make it through nice and easy. PebblePossum now at 3 Sanctuaries. Brooke closing in on Gygas. It could still be pretty close. There's a number of assistant curses that could really slow Brooke down. Yeah, Paula does have a rain pendant, but we haven't seen Franklin badge yet, so Paula is still vulnerable to being taken out.
It's a rat. Boss, that if you have a multi-bottle rocket here, it's just let it rip. Good night.
Pebble has Fire Spring and Pink Cloud. Everything in Fire Spring is probably going to run from them. It was one of the first teleports we unlocked, so it was fairly early in logic. Pink Cloud will be more annoying, but They do have 2 DXs. They could opt to use one in Pink Cloud instead of having 2 for Magic Hands, depending on how you want to roll. Hopefully someone's using that large pizza they found. Oh, well, we made it past phase 1.
But Ness goes down.
We didn't have Nest down, but I don't know how many revives we have. It looks like they're just going for it. Oh, it is using the Cup of Life and Little Sun Nest. I think Thunders are doing pretty decent damage, so Paula isn't completely safe here. I don't know what level Pooh is at. If we have Brain Shock, this could be fairly safe if still potentially risky. And we do have all those bags of Dragonite. Might as well use them now.
I would agree.
PebblePossum going right for Delam, not bothering to pick up an exit mouse. Alright, time to start prayer phase.
Ooh, Chargles has a point. Depending on encounters and what the Gygas curse is, this could get incredibly close.
Man, like I said before, I'm jealous of all these vanilla runners that can just green swirl off anything. Oh, that was not green though. Now we have Jeff and Pooh confused. That's not amazing. That's a rough freeze.
Yeah, it's a pretty strong freeze if it's doing 5 HP damage to a character wearing a pain pen. And Gygas Curse, Dazzling Light.
I think the curse might have been randomizing Gygas's moveset, so we might not see a assistant show up here. Well, Paula's numb, so if things go south for Ness, that could potentially be bad. Dazzling Light didn't work again. Went back to normal. I think we got 3 prayers left.
Yeah, so if that assistant's gonna do anything, it's gonna need to do it very soon.
Yeah, I think we're past the point of the assistants assisting. Yeah, 2 prayers left. I don't think PebblePossum has a runway to close it out before Brooke does, but the death throes of Gygas is very long. Car Painter needs to go down like yesterday. Gygas making one last-ditch effort to take Paula out, but it's not enough.
It's not enough. And I think Brooke has it.
Yeah, PebblePossum doesn't have an exit mouse. PebblePossum running into an encounter. Oh no!
Alright, I think that's it. So, chat, do us all a favor. Get your GGs in chat for Brooke, who is moving on to face the person I am in the booth with in the next round, depending on what the flag set is.
That's me! Yeah,
Sure, we'll find
PebblePossum.
out from Tomar what the flag string is shortly as the official time comes in. And
Brooke is
with
it's 54:01. So congratulations to Brooke for winning this race. All right, Leslie, do you want to announce the flags? We just got the information from
we did that, we did, but I think I'm going to wait and see what happens with Pebble's run here because I'm curious to see what will happen.
All right, fair enough. We can wait till PebblePossum finishes, and then we can announce the flag set.
So Summers Museum had to shine us, but
Happy Prisoner had the signed banana. Oh, the teddy bear was about to betray PebblePossum yet again, but manages to escape our Kraken analogs here.
it's
Oh, yeah.
Belch.
Yeah, Belch. Belch has pretty high natural HP, but MBR will probably take it out. And we're joined in the commentary booth by Brooke. Congratulations, Brooke.
And that's Master Belch down for PebblePossum. Get your GGs in for PebblePossum, who played a fantastic race. Comes up a little bit short here, and this will be the end of their tournament run. Excuse me. And a very close finish time too, as we are joined now by PebblePossum, who finishes up with a very good of time, one that would win most nights, but not this time, coming up with a 55-56.
Yeah, not surprised. Book is a fantastic runner. She's won this tournament before. I'm glad I kept it within 2 minutes.
Yeah, you did really good in that regard.
Yeah, overall you two are pretty close. Brooke had maybe a slight advantage over you, maybe through most of the seed, but before you ended up deciding to.
Hello?
Yes, hello, Brooke. How's it going?
Hello, Brooke.
Oh,
GG's.
I don't know why my mic was doing that. Thank you.
Yes. All right, good to have you. As I was saying, Pebble, I think you, Brooke, had maybe a slight advantage through most of the race, but I think what might have gotten Pebble this race really was the decision to go for 5 sank. I believe the summers into winters was just a little too long. If Pebble had gone for 4 sank, I think Pebble might have beaten you to the punch, so to speak.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it would be faster or not. I decided it might be worth not rolling the dice on the Gygas curse.
Yeah, it turned out Gygas just had a fancy flash.
Oh.
Yeah, no, the system didn't
replace the
show
turn
up.
waste with a dazzling light.
Yeah, so comparatively speaking to what we saw with the race earlier, that was a nothing burger.
Yeah, seeing the Diamond Ray in the previous race, and also knowing that, like, shrooms are possible. That one's also super nasty.
All right. Before we continue talking about the seed, we just want to announce the RO4 flags. We have random start, extended PSI shuffle, everyone's favorite, 50% enemy attack shuffle, and boss attack shuffled separately. So definitely having a good time here in the next round.
Yeah, extended PSI shuffle is one of my favorites. Like you said, it is a favorite of most people who play this rando, I think.
Yeah, very much so. So, Brooke, question for you. we did notice that you bought your Spectrum Bream in 3, but you never went back to get MBRs. Any particular reason for that?
I thought about it, but I just never had like a good opportunity because I was done with 3 at that point, so I never had money and stuff to do in 3, and I didn't think it was worth a trip.
I didn't make a separate trip for them. I sold something early on. I think it might have been the Flame Pendant too, but I picked up 2 MBRs at that time, and I ended up using them in Magic Ant and then also on a 5th Sync department store spook.
Yeah, those really helped close out those fights pretty quick, for sure. Pebble, one question for you. I did notice you went to Saturn Valley first before going into Belch Base. What were you thinking with that move?
I honestly did not notice I'd picked up the jar of fly honey, and so I looked over my tracker and I was like, oh, I probably should have done that first. That might cost me the race. I guess Brooke. And it probably did cost me like, at least 30 seconds. Especially since I think I took a roach fight on the way back, so make that more like a minute.
Yeah, but yeah, we were just wondering, like, oh, maybe he was thinking might get a really cool teleport out of this, come back later with something. Unfortunately, it was just Deep Darkness, which didn't amount to anything this seed yet again. But
yeah, I'm not sure where. Was that something that like Jeff was holding?
Shoot. I think
so,
either
yeah.
Jeff or Pooh had it. One of them.
Yeah,
Who had
Jeff,
the meteorite piece? I
Okay.
remember that much.
Yeah, I think I just forgot to look at Jeff's item until I looked over my tracker a little too late and noticed I had the fly honey already.
Okay. But I gotta say, both of you, masterful swirling this race. Got a lot of amazing greens and also some interesting reds.
Yeah, wish Pink Cloud had gone a little smoother.
Yeah.
Paint
I
Cloud
got
can
red sword
sometimes
like
be a
10
noun in
seconds
its
into
own
the
way.
seed.
Yeah, there was one that really looked. I forget where it was, but there was one. Was it in Winners? Was it? No, Winners was the really interesting green swirl you had, Pebble, from Pooh, I guess. After your
Oh yeah,
teleport.
I teleported and like he didn't catch up in time, but he still green swirled the mook or whatever that diamond was. So that worked out, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very.
that wound up being a mook and a spinning robot. So, hey, it worked out nicely. You got to run away from that.
Yeah. So, final thoughts on the seed, Brooke?
I don't remember.
It was really linear, pretty much up until the end when I had the pack of bubble gum and the open summers check kind of hinted that 5 cent could be in play, and I took that choice, and I guess Brooke didn't.
I literally only have summers. That's the only check that I didn't do.
What was the Tucson Berglund Park? Because I didn't do that one, and I probably should have done that one before Summers, but I just got in Paula and I forgot about it.
Hawkeye, maybe?
Yeah, it was the Hawkeye.
Yeah, that was Hawkeye. That tracks.
Yeah, we were
that makes
thinking.
sense.
I think that was before he went in. Was it? No, it was after he went into Monotoli. So unfortunately, it couldn't have been Paula, but. No, but yeah, all right.
Yeah, I was thinking it could have been Paula there because I didn't know at that point.
Oh, did you do that? No, you had to. It was at Berglund Park, right? So you'd had to have Paula to get the item.
Oh yeah, no. No, I had the teleport. That's what I was thinking of. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it could have been like Shyness book somewhere for 5th Sync. Honestly, all of the remaining things could have been in play because you had Lilliput, you had Lumine, then we already had the teleport to Deep Darkness, and then you also had Magnet Hill sitting right there. It could have been 5 Sync as well.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
I realized that could have been something, but I was already committed to Summers at that point, and it was a sync. So
Yep, but at least we got to see Tessie.
yeah,
Yep, so
That we did.
yep, GG's to both of you. Glad to have you. Brooke, I'll be
Thank you.
facing you this coming week. Looking forward to
good
it.
luck.
Yeah, another banger of a matchup. Hey, let's face it, at this point in the tournament, even heading into this round, all the matchups were bangers. And that's just going to be more of the same as we continue on to the end, towards the end of the PK Scramble tournament. Brooke, Static, good luck in your match for the next round. Pebble, always great to watch you racing Earthbound, no matter what variety it is. Looking forward to see you again soon. Follow our runners for all of our races tonight. Obi, Static, Brooke, and Pebble, as well as follow the comms, which again, Pebble, plus myself. As we are heading out of here, for Tomar and everyone behind the scenes at Earthbound Super Series, I'm Leslie Pro. Stay kind, stay safe. We'll see you next time. Take care, everyone.
Yep, thank you. Have a good night, everyone.